Hello, welcome back to another stream from Tachyon Lance. Today we're going to be looking at a number of suggestions that some people have made in comments and on Discord about how to improve the fleets that are fighting carriers and strike craft. So we're going to have a look at some of them today, and then I'm also going to have a look at a few other types of battles involving strike craft. So we've got our normal carrier battleship here, but with the arc emitter, the spinal mount. So we're going to test this versus another battleship fleet. The main changes I've added to this to try it out to see if it makes it even stronger is rather than have shield hardeners on this fleet, because the other fleets aren't using shield or armor penetrating weapons at this stage. So I've added in regenerative hull tissues to improve the armor regen and hull regen, and some shield capacitors, because they'll probably benefit this fleet the most. So that should make them defensively a bit stronger. The opposing fleet has the Tachyon Lance spinal mount artillery battleship, so pretty much standard what we've seen. Same shields and armor, but we've added in 2 lots of shield hardeners to try and reduce that damage that the strike craft are doing. I would like to have all shields on this design, but the power requirements, I couldn't put any more shields on this design without compromising other areas such as the weapons mostly. So that's the main requirement without going into dark matter reactors. This is the best we can get in terms of shields to armor with this type of design. So let's see if this improves the battle or not.
Hostile fleet assets engage.
Strike craft away. Lots of shields going down. They've lost 2 carriers, 3 carriers, 4, 5. Ugh. Oh, we could have a win here. There we go. Looks like the shield hardeners have helped a lot. Yep, shield hardeners have helped turn the tide, at least against that build. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change that carrier battleship build back to adding in, because we had shield and armor hardeners on the previous build, not the armor regen. So now I want to see if that actually works to negate the damage, because those ships seem to go down very quickly that battle. So I'm not sure the shield and armor hardeners are working as perhaps the way we think they are. So I'm going to test that out next. Okay, so for this battle, I've added in armor hardener and 2 lots of shield hardeners. This is the only change for this battle. The previous battle had the hull regen and a shield capacitor. So this time we're using the hardeners. Now, we'll note that these weapons don't have shield or armor penetration. They have shield and armor damage, hull damage, but no penetration weapons. That's the only change to this fleet. They've got the double shield hardeners. So let's see if adding hardeners to this fleet makes them stronger, or if there's no change. Let's find out. Still lost a couple battleships. Still seem to be going down as quick. It looks like they're going to win again. Yep, no real change. So the shield hardeners made the big difference to this fleet. So we've tested the carrier fleet with a couple of varieties. Now I'm going to go back to just a standard carrier fleet without the arc emitter and see if the result is the same. Okay, so for this fight we've got our standard carrier fleet. So we've got the extra strike craft in there, we've got some extra missiles. I've gone back to putting the shield capacitors in there and armor regen and hull regen, and we'll see if this extra firepower is better for carriers versus the battleships having the shield hardeners. So we'll see how this plays out. It's looking rather even. Oh, they've lost a few. Oh, they've lost 3 carriers now. Yeah, lost 5, 6. So the result's going to be the same. Okay, so I think we've found a direct counter for the carriers now, at least in the very late game. We've got this build is very effective with the shield hardeners at countering the strike craft. But there's another curveball I'm going to throw into this because we are late game. I'm going to try something else, which is most fleets will probably have this in the late game. So we need to try this scenario out because it could restore the carrier's dominance. Okay, for this fight, what I've added in is Titans. So we've got our battleship fleet, which was the same as last time, except the only difference is this time I've added in a Titan. Both Titans just have the ship fire rate plus 5%. This one's got shield hardeners, so it's got more shields and armor because we had the extra power. This Titan has the same weapons, same amount of shields and armor, except it's got the shield capacitors to boost up the shield and ship fire rate. Now, what should happen is the Titans engage at longer range, which means the strike craft will engage it earlier and have more time to fly across and engage this fleet first before they get into range of the spinal weapons, theoretically. So we'll see if that helps the battle or not. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Construction unit engaged. Alert, construction unit offline. Alert, mining station deconstructed.
Still lost a lot of carriers early.
Alert, construction unit offline.
Let's check what's doing the damage. You can just hear some of the battles from the other parts of the galaxy. The Tachyon Lancers, yeah. Kinetic artillery. Tachyon Lancers again. Those Tachyon Lancers. So they seem to do a little bit better. They certainly killed more.
Alert, science unit offline.
That's just it. They certainly lost more battleships this fight, but yep, we can see that using the shield hardeners on the battleships with this build definitely makes them kill the carrier. So we've at least found a late game challenge to the carrier. So once you've got these tachyon weapons and artillery, probably work with the particle launch as well, I would imagine, and the shield hardeners, that's very effective. So probably what I'll test now is, let's see if a mixed fleet with shield hardeners will get a better result. Okay, so we've got our standard carrier fleet here. We've got our arc emitters with a spinal mount for this one. We've got reactive armor and 2 shield hardeners on there. We'll see if that works or it doesn't. I don't think it'll contribute much, but we'll try it in this battle. We've got our shield hardeners on the battleships, Tachyon Lancers, the battleships that won our previous battles. Then we've got our cruisers, Devastator torpedo cruisers. We want to see if the cruisers can get in close, do some damage with those Devastator torpedoes, and see if they can beat the strike craft, or if the strike craft simply do too much DPS. They've got shield hardeners. We've won a lot of afterburners, so hopefully this makes them stronger to hold off those strike craft. Let's see how it goes. Cruisers are trying to close into range now. Oh yeah, they've lost a few now. A few carriers down. They've lost quite a few cruisers as well. Roughly even. Okay, let's just see what the damage is getting done here. The Devastator torpedoes are doing a lot. Focused arc emitters, tachyon lancers, advanced strike craft as well down there. Okay, they're higher on the armor. Devastator torpedoes are still out damaging them. Okay, looks like we beat them.
Alert, fleet unit offline.
There we go. So we can see that the shield hardeners are making a good difference even to mixed fleets. And yeah, cruisers with Devastator torpedoes is working. So let's try something a little bit earlier. See if shield hardeners can help, say in the mid game. Okay, so we've got some mid game tech here. I've got some earlier class sort of battleships, kinetic and plasma weapons, shields and armor, first generation shield hardeners, artillery computers. We've also got cruisers with level 2 torpedoes, level 3 missiles, whirlwind missiles, shields and armor. There's one level 2 shields because of power reasons, and first generation shield hardeners as well, versus our mid-strength or mid-era carriers, advanced or improved strike craft, level 3 missiles, similar shields. I've just got the shield capacitors, regenerative hull tissue, level 3 armor with the carrier combat computer advanced one. So it's all mid technology stuff. So let's see if this works in this era. Yeah, it's still losing battleships. Yeah, the battleships are going down quick. Let's just have a look at the damage. Yeah, armored torpedoes. Yep. Yeah, so by having the shield hardeners, we've got the torpedoes into the fight. Yep, clear victory again. Okay, so you can see the shield hardeners also help mid-game. And let's just try a battleship fleet quickly. Okay, so this time we've only got the battleships versus the carrier battleships. My only concern is, can this fleet do enough damage, because there's no spinal mount weapons and there's no torpedoes in this fleet to do enough DPS. So that's my only concern, that this fleet might not be enough do enough DPS. But we'll see. It might be able to outlast the strike craft and kill the carriers. Let's find out. So far it's pretty even. Going ship for ship pretty much. looks like strike craft carriers are getting advantage now. Let's just check the damage. Yeah, you can see the improved strike craft. Yeah, they're doing the larger amounts of damage here. Without the torpedoes, we're just not doing enough DPS to win the battle, I don't think. Yep, so that's the retreated fleet. Yeah, so we can see without torpedoes in that early game and the mid game and early game, it's hard to win the battle. So you're going to need mixed fleets using torpedoes and battleships to beat carriers in that mid game and early game. That seems to be what the advantage is, and strike craft will hold the advantage until you can get shield hardener technology. As we know, flak is not that effective, so until you get shield hardeners, carriers can dominate the battlefield. So yeah, so at least we've got a counter now for carriers. Everything else doesn't really seem to work. Shield hardeners seems to be the best option, so you don't even need to worry about flak and PD. Well, PD for missiles is still somewhat effective, but flak is not. So yeah, now there's one other thing I would like to try for this video. Okay, for this battle we've got a starbase with lots of defense platforms, with hangar bays, shields, armor, shield capacitors, and some armor regen. Now starbase got all hangar bays. So, although I can't, unfortunately I can't change this tech. So they do have swarm strikers, which gives them a bit of an advantage. And they've also got all this, so it's probably a little bit unfair, but not much I can do about it. Well, let's see how they go against our battleship fleet. Let's see how our battleship fleet still holds the day.
Hostile stationary asset engaged. Alert, military station deconstructed. Alert, military station deconstructed. Alert, military station deconstructed.
Wow. Look at the damage here. Tachyon lancers, kinetic artillery. Yeah, so the strike craft just are not doing enough. The swarm strikers, strike craft, they're just not as effective. They just can't get the job done. Easy victory. So there you go. Battleships with shield hardeners for the win. I think that's the main conclusion we've drawn from this series of battles, is that to fight the carrier, and carrier is still very, very strong, but to beat it you need shield hardeners. Until you get shield hardeners, carriers can dominate the battlefield and be very effective. And what would be good to see, it's a bit hard to test like this, but would be multiple fleet engagement. So if the carriers have 2 or 3 fleets, carrier fleets, and then a couple of fleets of other battleship fleets to engage your battleship fleets and hold you off, and then you're dealing with much larger numbers of strike craft. Yeah, to be very interesting to see the results. So, but at least we've seen now, we don't need to worry about flak. We can just go for shield hardeners, and shield hardeners is enough to turn the battle against strike craft. So we've found a balance there to counter strike craft. Alright, so I think I'll end this video here. So if you enjoyed this video and you like what I'm doing, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.